Hi, this video is addressing the use of vague words within our writing. Now, when I'm talking about vague words, I'm talking about words like get, got, a lot, good, bad, or anything that has many different definitions that if it's not properly explained, people aren't necessarily going to know what you're talking about. For example, you might have said, oh, I had a lot of turkey for dinner, thinking, okay, a plate looks like this. Well, what I'm thinking is you had a parking lot of turkey for dinner, which is a lot more disgusting because this turkey does not look half as good as this one. Okay, and then you might say, oh, that turkey was so good, and you're talking about, oh, you know, this turkey right here looks so delicious. But other people might think, oh, that turkey was well behaved, it danced around, it was a very, very great part of the family. See, it's not very specific. It's not telling the reader exactly what they need to know. Now, in the middle of a conversation, if you happen to use these words, it's not a big deal. I do it all the time, and for the most part, people understand what you're saying. But when you're talking about actual writing, you need to make sure that you're editing these words out. Vague words have a tendency to make your writing seem a little bit less sophisticated, maybe even a little confusing, and it takes the credibility down a notch. So you want to make sure that you're sounding as sophisticated as you possibly can. Let's take a look at this example right here. Okay, this is a pretty well written paragraph, but it does use some of these vague words that we're talking about. Let's see if we can fix and make it a little bit better. So soccer is one of the most popular sports in Europe and America. Great claim topic sentence, by the way. Even though it sounds like a fun sport, there is a lot of dangers in soccer. Well, that doesn't really make sense. There's a parking lot full of dangers in soccer. That doesn't sound like a sport that I want to be around if there's an actual parking lot full of dangers. I'm picturing monsters and crazy contraptions all over the place that are going to, you know, get me in some way. So I need to change this to make it a little bit more specific. So instead of saying there is a lot of dangers in soccer, maybe I can change it to there are several dangers in soccer. Okay, so now it's talking about a number that makes a little bit more sense. There are many dangers in soccer. Either way, it's a little bit more specific, saying, hey, there are a number of dangers in soccer. If you play soccer, you could break a bone or get a pulled muscle. Well, yeah, this makes sense, but we can make it more sophisticated and make it more to the point if we just say you could break a bone or pull a muscle. Okay, it's a more active verb, and it's a little bit more accessible to the reader. Since there is since there is contact between the ball, soccer players will be coming at the ball, and they might both hit each other. That could hurt. So since you could get hurt, I will explain some ways how to make soccer safe. Oh, so get hurt? You mean like buy hurt? Like I get milk from the store? Do you mean, you know, I'm acquiring this hurt in some way? It's impossible to tell. So we need to change this to make it a little bit more specific. So maybe you could go, since you could hurt yourself. That makes it a little bit, you know, a little bit better. What if you wrote, so since you could injure yourself, making it even a little bit more elaborate. So these small changes can make these vague words, which are very simple too, not only sound more sophisticated, but much more specific so the reader can follow your argument, follow your information a lot better. This is a very straight to the point example of a paragraph that uses very specific vocabulary. If you want to read through this as a exemplar, something as a sample that you can use to kind of guide your own writing, I will leave this up here for you. Okay, thank you and happy writing.